That the last makeover was definitely the last. Well, you were wrong. First, there's her new concert tour called Reinvention, Say No More. There's her new religion called Kabbalah, a rare kind of Jewish mysticism. There's her new name. The artiste formerly known as Madonna is now called Esther. And there's her new day job, the mum who writes books for children. But breathe a sigh of relief. Cynthia McFadden found some things never change. The ex-Madonna is still, quote, naughty child number one.
Don't just stand there, let's get to it. Strike a pose, there's nothing to it.
She is perhaps the most famous woman in the world. She has certainly been one of the most controversial. Remember Like a Virgin? And her numerous run-ins with the Catholic Church. She's back on a worldwide tour. Little surprise, she's full of surprises. What do you want that you don't have?
I want to be more liberated from my ego, less concerned with what people think of me.
You have done a really good job, though, I think, of making the rest of us think you don't care very much what other people think.
I'm a good actress. I mean, I'm a rebel, and, you know, that's the stance of a rebel. The stance of a rebel is, you know, I can't say bad words on TV, but, you know, I don't care what you think. I did spend, you know, at least a decade taking my clothes off and being photographed, saying bad words on TV and, you know, that sort of thing.
Like her sex book from 1991, most of which we can't show you, and her erotica period.
I don't regret it, but it's just, you know, I mean, everybody takes their clothes off now. And then what? I mean, you know, to a certain extent, I was saying, look, you know, why do men only get the job of objectifying women in a sexual way? I want to do it too. There was an element of that, but there was also an element of being an exhibitionist and saying, look at me, you know. It wasn't that altruistic, so I can admit that.
And that's a first from the woman who has always said she didn't need to explain or apologize.
I choose to look at myself as like a person who's now awake, and a person who's now trying to be part of the order, not the chaos of the world.
Madonna says the ego that has served her so well in the past
I looked into your eyes and the world came tumbling down.
is now undergoing a tough reevaluation.
If I didn't have a huge ego, I wouldn't be here. But at a certain point, you have to understand that it is, you know, it's your dog. And it's like, are you walking the dog or is the dog walking you?
She attributes her new philosophy to the study of 13th century Jewish mysticism called Kabbalah. Kabbalists believe in immortality, and also that you can overcome death and illness by how you think and how you behave. Is it true you have a new name of Esther?
Well, let's say I don't go by the name of Esther, but yes, that is my Hebrew name. Yep.
How do you get it? Did you pick it?
I chose it, yeah.
Why?
I was named after my mother. My mother died when she was very young of cancer. And in the metaphysical world, I wanted to attach myself to another name. So this is no way a negation of who my mother is. So I read about all the women in the Old Testament, and I love the story of Queen Esther.
Esther apparently has a few ideas about how Madonna should behave.
My Kabbalah teacher, one of them, used to say to me, when in doubt, act like God. And then you think, well, what does that mean? You know, it's like, well, what describe God? God would be compassionate, unconditional, all giving, all loving. So when in doubt, behave that way. You'll never go wrong.
The study of Kabbalah has become hip in some circles. Celebrities like Demi Moore and Britney Spears are said to be followers too, who wear a red string bracelet on their left wrist. It's said to be a protection against the evil eye.
I'm a little bit irritated that people think that it's like some celebrity bandwagon that I've jumped on. I'm very serious about it. It's true, Paris Hilton did come to the Kabbalah Center once because her parents brought her, and they wanted to help her, and they were desperate. And suddenly, Paris Hilton studies Kabbalah. I mean, that's what happens, and people, you know, they...
To naughty children everywhere?
Yes. Even the naughtiest person in the world, big or small, has the capability to do something good in the world and to offer something good to the world. And there's lots of children who like to identify with themselves with being naughty, so.
Are your children naughty sometimes?
Oh, yeah, most of the time, yeah. I would be a bit frightened if they weren't.
How about you?
Yes, of course. I'm naughty child number one.
So let's talk about the tour.
Okay?
I'm not a
Video plays a prominent role in the concert. It is the video she refused to release last year on the brink of the war in Iraq. Are you sorry you didn't release it then, given what's happened since?
No, no,
It wasn't the right time.
no, it wasn't. People were too caught up in, you know, America was too polarized. There was a lynch mob mentality that was going on that wasn't pretty. And I have children to protect, and I just didn't think it was the right time. But I believe that George Bush and Saddam Hussein are both behaving in an irresponsible manner. So in that respect, they're alike.
The Dixie Chicks got in a lot of trouble for criticizing the president a lot less than you just did.
Okay, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't think you're going to find many people who think the war in Iraq at this point was a good idea.
little girl.
And I just felt such an emptiness and such a feeling of lack, and I don't want to go back there ever. My husband and I are very different in that way. He's always trying to recapture his youth, and he did so many fun things as a child that he still loves to do. And I'm not interested in recapturing my childhood at all.
Her husband is director Guy Ritchie. She and Ritchie have been married 4 years. Their son, Rocco, lives with them at their homes in London, Los Angeles, and New York, as does Madonna's daughter, Lola.
Come over.
The whole family is in New York this week, on tour with Mom while she's performing here. Is there a reigning philosophy in your household?
Pick up your
Okay.
Everybody has to chip in. Even my children have to clean up their mess, clean up their rooms, manners, thank you, please, take your dishes to the sink. I mean, whatever. I mean, gratitude, being grateful, that has to happen.
It couldn't sound much more traditional, is it?
Is it traditional? If it's traditional to be a decent human being, then I'm traditional.
This is Lola, and this is Rocco.
Traditional and strict. For example, no TV is allowed for the children. Are you all afraid you're going to they're not going to know the cultural references of their friends?
Oh, they know. They listen to the radio. They go to school. You know, they hear things. They know what's going on. They know that, you know, Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears have pierced belly buttons.
Do they know Mommy kissed them?
Yeah. My daughter does, but she doesn't think anything of it. Girls are so clever. Much cleverer than boys.
In a good way?
Yeah, but they're different, you know. They're different. My love affair with my son is different than my love affair with my daughter.
How?
Because it's more of an association with my daughter. I see myself in her, and, you know, sometimes I'm repulsed, and sometimes I just want to put my arms around her and just, you know what I mean? Like, come here, I know exactly what you're going through right now. But my son is, you know, well, you know, you have a son. It's just love. They can do no wrong. It's terrible.
I hear there were Barbie fashion shows at your house.
There are. They're a little bit disturbing. Yeah.
When you watch her on stage, Barbie fashion shows seem a long way away. Do you go to sleep at the end of this? I mean, when you walk...
It takes me hours to unwind. Yeah.
And is Guy waiting with a little cup of tea at the door when you're coming through?
Fat chance. Guy's waiting for me to come home and give him a massage. It's true. He talks to me in the bathtub, though. That's my ritual. I come home, I get in the bathtub, and he talks to me.
He even calls her Ma or Mrs. And we learned the rules that Madonna applies at work don't necessarily apply at home. You have said many times that you will never apologize. Now, I take it that doesn't apply at home.
Of course not. That's like step number one to a successful marriage. Learn to apologize. Right?
It sounds like the rebel maybe leaving old habits behind. Is there anything good about getting older?
Getting smarter.
Do you feel smarter?
Oh, yeah. Do I sound smarter?
Madonna at 45. Still a work in progress, but yeah, it seems a smarter one.